What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we got some Michigan football kickoff times set, as the Wolverines' first two games will be night games, plus some other times for other games on Michigan's schedule. We go over those, plus what Michigan assistant wide receivers coach Erik Campbell had to say about Michigan's wide receiver room, why he came back to Michigan to help Ron Bellamy, plus Michigan edge Derek Moore named to the Lott IMPACT trophy watch list. Also a top 5-star wide receiver target announcing his commitment date. And we also go over which number Yaxel Lendeborg will be wearing in a maize and blue uniform next season with Michigan. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so to start this video, I did want to go over some kickoff times for Michigan football, as some kickoff times have been announced, including for the first couple games here for the Wolverines, as the Wolverines will be kicking off their season opener at home on August 30th against New Mexico at 7:30 p.m. on NBC, as the Wolverines will be opening up their season at home in another night game, just like they did last season against Fresno State. And then September 6th in week 2, the Wolverines go on the road against Oklahoma, which will be a big time matchup, and they will also be playing at 7:30 p.m. in week 2 on the road against Oklahoma. That game will be on ABC. And then September 13th, week 3, Michigan takes on Central Michigan at home, and that game will be at 12 p.m. on BTN. And some other kickoff time announcements include at Nebraska, that kickoff time is 3:30 p.m. on CBS, and then also October 4th against Wisconsin, that will either be a 12 p.m. or 3:30 p.m. kickoff time, and obviously November 29th against Ohio State, 12 p.m. on Fox, as the Wolverines will go for 5 in a row against the Buckeyes. So let me know what you guys think about those kickoff times. Obviously, the big thing, Michigan opening up the season with 2 night games in a row against New Mexico on NBC, and then on the road against Oklahoma on ABC, which isn't too much of a surprise. It'll be the first time Michigan is on ABC in quite some time, as obviously, the Big Ten no longer has a TV deal with ESPN, but Oklahoma and the SEC does. So that is why that game is on ABC. So let me know what you guys think about that. And then I also wanted to talk about what assistant wide receivers coach Erik Campbell said as he spoke Wednesday on In the Trenches podcast with John Jansen, and he explained why he decided to return to Michigan. And he said, simply put, because it's Michigan, and also because I had the opportunity to work for Ron Bellamy. That was a big one, seeing him develop and seeing him grow from a player now to a coach and doing what I had done for 13 years. The opportunity to come back and work with him was exciting. Obviously, Michigan Sharon Moore added him to help out Ron Bellamy with the wide receiver room, as obviously they struggled last season, and Ron Bellamy, quite frankly, has been struggling with the wide receiver room and coaching them as well. He hasn't been too bad of a recruiter, but when it comes, to the on-field production, it obviously has been lacking for the Wolverines, especially last season. But now with the new offense for the Wolverines, new offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey, and also a new revamped quarterback room, the Michigan wide receiver room has a chance to break out in a big way. Even Campbell has said that I think this group is a bunch of underachievers and the sky's going to be the limit for them. We'll see how the season goes, and I think we have the talent to make some things happen with Coach Lindsey coming in as a coordinator. I think also having the quarterbacks we have brought in, those things are going to help the receivers. And then we brought some talented guys in here too to help us in that group. I think those guys are going to show that there was a reason why they came here. And I think that's what, happens to a receiver crew. You just start to get 1 or 2 guys to make a difference, and then it gets contagious and more happens after that. So Erik Campbell, otherwise known as Soup Campbell, has tons of coaching experience and obviously was a great addition to the coaching staff and should help out tremendously, help out the wide receiver room tremendously, as well as helping Ron Bellamy coach them up. So that's what he had to say on In the Trenches podcast, as it is a big season coming up for that wide receiver room to really prove who they are and what they can really do. And then I also wanted to mention that Michigan senior edge Derek Moore has been named to the Lott IMPACT Trophy watch list ahead of the 2025 season. And the Lott IMPACT Trophy is the only major defensive college football award that considers character. The trophy annually goes to the defensive impact player of the year, college football's top defensive player who has had the biggest impact on his team both on and off the field. So pretty cool right there. Just wanted to mention that. We also got our first look at the EA Sports College Football 26 video game, and Bryce Underwood was seen taking a snap, faking the handoff to Justice Haynes, breaking a tackle against Ohio State before throwing the ball on the run. We got our first look at Bryce Underwood in the video game, and obviously he was on the deluxe edition cover, making history as the first true freshman to ever be on the cover before even taking a snap at the college level. And then we also already mentioned, yesterday in yesterday's video, a big official visit weekend coming up for the Wolverines, hosting multiple top targets. So if you guys missed that video, make sure to go ahead, check it out, as again, it's going to be a big summer full of official visits, and the Wolverines trying to gain momentum on the recruiting trail during these official visit weekends. And some more recruiting news though, a top wide receiver has announced his commitment date. That is the 2026 5-star wide receiver Kelvin Russell. He's rated as a 5-star on 24/7 Sports rankings, a top 100 wide receiver from the state of Florida, and he will be announcing his decision on July 5th, deciding between Miami, Oregon, Michigan, Florida State, Florida, LSU, North Carolina, and Syracuse. So Michigan is a finalist there. They may have some work to do here in this recruitment, but they've definitely solidified themselves as a top contender in this recruitment. Also, top 100 quarterback commit Brady Smeagol has been putting his recruiting hat on, trying to recruit him to be a part of Michigan's 2026 recruiting class. So it would be a big win. Going to be tough to land him, but I did just want to mention that. So that's some Michigan football news right there for you guys. And then obviously Michigan basketball a couple days ago got some big time news as the incoming transfer from UAB, Yaxel Lendeborg, withdrew from the 2025 NBA draft to play in Ann Arbor for the 2025 through 2026 basketball season. A guy who was a projected first-round draft pick didn't get that guarantee though, and now he will be playing at Michigan, although he won't be wearing the number 3 jersey that he wore the past 2 seasons at UAB. Instead, he will be wearing the jersey number 23 at Michigan, and you might be wondering who will be wearing the number 3 next season at Michigan. That is Elliot Cadeau, the North Carolina guard transfer. But nonetheless, number 23 gonna look great in amazing blue uniform for Yaxel Lendeborg. And again, Lendeborg speaking on his decision, he said it was sort of a very clear decision for me because nobody really promised or guaranteed me that first round. There were a lot saying I would be first round, but none of them would guarantee it at the moment. But that's all right, because Michigan will gladly take Lendeborg next season, and instantly they become a top 10 team and a team that will be competing for a national title. I can assure you that, with Dusty May putting together and assembling another fantastic roster, as he has put together one of the best transfer portal classes and potentially could go down as the best transfer portal class to ever be assembled, because he has done an outstanding job. Cannot say it enough. So it's great to have Michigan basketball back. They aren't going anywhere, and next season should be a fun one to watch, especially with Michigan being led by Yaxel Lendeborg. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it, and we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.